Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with talking a little bit about FedNow. Listen, as you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you will probably be aware of the fact that yes, I have been talking about FedNow and a lot of these instant payment services, because these are major crucial things to focus on, because all of these steps being taken right now are leading to utility actually mattering in this space. I've said it time and time again. Most of the people out there don't actually know what FedNow really is. For example, even this article doesn't actually understand what FedNow really is. This got posted back in July, and we do see what is FedNow. The government's first instant payment service just launched. The problem is they don't actually understand that FedNow isn't just a service. This is infrastructure. This is what we need to see. Like, these are steps being taken from the Fed themselves. This is actually from their official website. We do see what's trending in the world of faster and instant payments. Again, going back to this post here, they're talking about this as a service. The best way to look at FedNow is as an infrastructure. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle. We do see FedNow won't be an app. It's more akin to a payment infrastructure that allows banks to move money instantly. And that's the best way to really kind of look at this, because it's tapping into all major service providers. The service providers are the crucial ones to actually look at. But beyond this, we know that faster and instant payments are becoming the focus point now. They even talk about India with the unified payments interface, the UPI platform. Beyond this, we also have China here, but this is more so of a closed loop system. But you also have Singapore with FAST, their fast and secure transfer system. And then also Europe and Sweden, the UK, Australia, the United States, and there's going to be so many more launching. They continue to talk about other technologies like QR codes, for an example, and then the request to pay or request for payment as well. It's time to get ready, they say, because although instant and other faster payments are used predominantly for P2P transfers or transactions in the US at present, based on experiences around the world, it is likely that innovation in other use cases will pick up speed in the coming years. And given the volume growth rates of other countries, it's not difficult to imagine a day in the not too distant future where instant and other faster payment options are in widespread use in the US. Now, mind you, like I said, with FedNow, the big problem around XRP being tapped in, for an example, is the fact that the FedNow service is not international. It's domestic at first. And an individual from the community, King Solomon, ILV_owl, actually put out a tweet back in June regarding this. We do see FedNow is domestic at first, obviously just pointing out the potential connectivity aspects from Finastra services being integrated into FedNow with the certification press release. And yes, because the thing to mention, like I said, the service providers, Finastra is one of them. Volante is another one. And there's so many other ones like ACI, for an example, that are tapped in through Ripple and have been for years. We do see Finastra completes FedNow service certification. Global Pay Plus and Total Messaging Solution are both interesting here. Finastra is on-demand liquidity enabled and can use XRP. Finastra Total Messaging can leverage RippleNet. Ripple integrated into Pay Plus since 2015. And here you guys have the announcements here regarding Finastra with the FedNow service certification. We do see Global Pay Plus solution enabling US-based financial institutions with instant payment capabilities on the cloud. We also do see Payments to Go together with its total messaging gateway. And then A few ones over here to mention: the FedNow and Ripple PDF file regarding the Fusion Total messaging. By the way, big thing, this is all APIs. This is API plug and play through the cloud with RippleNet, which again, you guys know me, sound like a broken record at this point, but APIs are the big thing. And here you guys have Global Pay Plus Business Guide. You also have Ripple being highlighted in orange. I know that you guys might not be able to see that behind the arrow, but it is there. This is all crucial information to note. Beyond this, we do still see a lot of these instant payment platforms still launching today. This is going to continue to become a trend. We do see the UAE Central Bank launches instant payment platform, Ani. I hope that I'm saying that name correctly. This is a big one. And again, like all of these are continuously being launched and worked on and incorporated into the global system. These are all QR based. And also remember that a lot of this is still regarding the idea of, I know that they don't mention it, but DLT. A lot of this doesn't mention DLT or blockchain, but we know that the underlying technology stack behind a lot of these major instant payments, guess what? They're usually tapped in through blockchain, DLT, or something very similar to it. But I always say to focus on these launches because this is what's happening right now in the world of finance. Instant payments are becoming a big thing. The thing is instant payments demand instant settlement. We don't yet have instant settlement solved. This is also why I said in a recent video talking about XRP, if you can solve the instant settlement, the second that we have instant settlement, we are now in the future of payments. Beyond this, with FedNow and with a lot of the things happening, everyone is always mentioning price. One of the biggest misconceptions around FedNow, and I even remember it, leading up to FedNow, I remember many individuals from the community, I'm not going to name names, they were saying FedNow is going to cause XRP to erupt in price. XRP is going to go to X amount of dollars because of FedNow. This is nonsense. I said this is going back to July 19th, too many XRP holders are focused on FedNow as a price driver of XRP, but this is simply not the case. FedNow is a key that unlocks a door of opportunity for the next generation of financial and payment technology to be realized in. And even here, I said the infrastructure is being upgraded to accommodate for this disruptive technology. Again, this article was not exactly fully wrong. It's just the fact that when we start to see FedNow being pioneered as just a payment service, that's where things kind of get a little bit confusing. Most people will not read into this. FedNow is much larger than just a payment service. This is a payment infrastructure. This is the infrastructure being laid. And again, it's all to accommodate for the new age technology. FedNow is significant not because it will pump XRP, but because it allows Ripple solutions utilizing the power of XRP to be implemented into the financial system. But at first, this is domestic. It's not international. Once we go international with this, that's where things can really kind of change. And remember, this is a tweet from Chad Steingraber. He's quoting ISO 2022. Let's do it. We do see first new payment rail in 40 years. Service providers are crucial. We do see banks will not be directly transacting. The service provider performs the transfer. This is a new revolutionary payment scheme for the US. Beyond this, right, I also mentioned this because this is crucial to know, which we will get back to here in just 1 second, because what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, I think it was in, I think it might have actually been on the Fed's website now that I mention it. So, sorry. Here we have a quote here talking actually about API technology. Let me zoom in just so that you guys can see it. So again, make sure that you are aware of the wording here. We do see talking about UPI, which we've actually connected back to Ripple with India. There's a lot of connections here. Again, we can't fully 100% confirm it, but we do know that Ripple has a lot of dominance in India. We do see this growth is due in part to UPI's Open Application Programming Interface, API. We do see through a set of APIs, UPI linked disparate user interfaces provided seamless authentication and authorization and ultimately ensured interoperability among existing players. The APIs provided by UPI enable two entities to execute a payment transaction by exchanging the bare minimum amount of information required. Access to the APIs enable Google Pay app, WhatsApp, and other non-bank platforms to reduce friction in accessing UPI to make money transfers. This is a big deal. Now, they only mentioned disparate one time. The reason why I bring this up is let's go back to this tweet here for myself. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because I've included this in many videos in the past, but this is from Volante, and this is actually talking about ISO 20022. You guys have been aware, next month, we start to see the big rollout of this. In this, we see a quote from Volante. This is from Volante's PDF file on ISO 20022. Recommendations to banks, literally recommending things regarding what banks should do with this new standardization. We do see sitting at the heart of that change will be ISO 20022. The standard will bring together disparate systems, standards, and methods from across the globe and tie them together. No greater example of this can be found in that than of Ripple. And they even say that this is the first member based on DLT. Outside of this, when we look back into Volante, because Volante, like I said, is a crucial piece, what you see FedNow testing is here. US banks begin transacting on instant payment network ahead of July launch. This is from Volante Technologies. Outside of this, we also know that, like I said, Volante's tapped in with API cloud-based technology through RippleNet. The same exact technology that Finastra is tapped into with RippleNet in the cloud, API services. And you can see all of this is back-end technology. This is under the hood. You don't see it unless you are actually going to lift the hood up and inspect it. Most people miss this. Beyond this, right? We know this is from October 16th from Chad Steingraber. He's actually quoting himself. Again, this is from October 16th as well. We do see new mid-tier bank survey 2023. Majority are wanting to switch over to API-based real-time payments. Payments as a service will become a vital technology over the next year. And again, this is actually from the Faster Payments Council report with Volante back in September. And guess what? You also have Finastra here talking regarding these new payment rails with, of course, the Faster Payments Council. But here we have APIs and real-time instant payments are the most wanted new capabilities. More APIs is 31% of this report. And we do see 33% of institutions report the number one most wanted new payments capability is APIs. And here we have a new report. This is, like I said, October 16th. New mid-tier bank survey 2023. Nearly 50% of all banks will connect to FedNow within a year of the initial launch. Each of these banks will connect, or that connect must use an API-based service provider like Volante, Finastra, ACI Worldwide, which, like I said, is enabled with Ripple as well, etc. And here you guys have it. This is a big deal simply because at some point in time, they could tap in and be exposed with Ripple and XRP technology. Some of the largest organizations that are pioneering payment services, like Finastra, Volante, for an example, ACI Worldwide, they are all tied back to Ripple. They have ties back to Ripple and even XRP, because a lot of them, just like King Solomon are, or is mentioning, are on-demand liquidity enabled, which means they can use XRP. And remember, right, with Ripple, with Volpay, which is the Ripple processor modular of Volante, we actually see a few things here. One, they break down how Ripple can be tapped in, but we do see the Ripple interface solution can be deployed in a variety of ways. On a bank's existing enterprise service bus architecture, sitting between the bank's payments processor and external payments channel, integrated into a bank's existing payments hub, providing a simple mechanism to initiate Ripple payments, as a standalone payments processor interfacing to the bank's payment hub. All of this is back-end technology. And guess what? It's all plug and play. That's the reason why these banks love APIs so much. Like this is the reason why they want more APIs, because at the end of the day, APIs and payments as a service is basically there's no, ripping and tearing of the traditional system. They can easily just tap in, and guess what? They're in the future. They don't have to hire expensive IT. They don't have to change anything behind their original model. But also, beyond this, I have to give a huge, massive shout out to Utility Theory. Why? Because he put together this incredible document that regards all of the connections with Volante. In my opinion, it's so crucial bringing up the original document that I mentioned within this May 31st post, because Volante literally spotlighting Ripple as being a pioneer behind ISO 20022 is so damn crucial. Because as we look at the wild connections that Volante already has in place, it seems as though Volante might just be the secret sauce behind Ripple tapping into the global financial payment system. This is the overall structure of real-time payments. Look at this. You have Volante with FedNow being tapped in. You have Volante with already the US real-time payments as a service provider in the cloud, end-to-end real-time payments processing as a managed service in the cloud, direct connectivity with the clearinghouse, and also you have Volante with the SEPA instant payments as a service as well in the cloud, yet again, direct connectivity with SIA, for an example, EBA clearing, the ECB with tips, and also, guess what? It's tapped in with RippleNet, XRP payments as a service, ISO 20022 interoperable payment messaging, bank to banks. And guess what? You have it tied back with Volpay, which is all of this in one. You literally get the best of everything through Volpay tapped in with RippleNet and XRP as a service. Now, for anyone out there that is wondering, well, why the hell would they want to utilize RippleNet and XRP over Swift, for an example, or Visa Direct, because those are the ones that are already tapped in with Volante. For those that don't know, well, it's very simple, right? I put out a tweet yesterday. Let me go back to my profile real quick. I put out a tweet yesterday. It was just a very simple one, and it was this one. I said, this image lives rent-free in my mind and has for years. This is talking about the savings regarding Ripple and XRP. Initially just tapped in with Ripple, you're talking about 33%. Ripple and XRP, 42%. Ripple and XRP with a low volatility XRP is 60% savings. This is a no-brainer move to tap in with Ripple and XRP. This is why I bring it up all the time. And by the way, if you wanted to have an even better view of all of the connections that Volante has, I know that this looks like a ton of information, but this is how deep and entrenched Volante is within the global financial sector. You literally have everything tapped in here. This is so damn crucial because this is what you want to see. When you actually look at the connections that Ripple has already created through something like Volante, it is undeniable on how big this could be if Ripple becomes a major player that is tapped in. And like I said, everyone is always saying, well, they don't mention that they're going to use XRP. They don't mention that they're going to utilize Ripple. Volante, we already know, is tapped in. It's a possibility that anyone that uses Volante, they could tap in with Ripple. The question is, what is going to be the percentage of Volante customers that are actually going to utilize Ripple? Nobody can tell you that. because it's unforeseen. We don't know what is going to happen when utility is fully tapped in. But one thing that I will constantly bring up is the savings that Ripple and XRP can provide to anyone that wants to utilize it versus any traditional player. Go ahead, tap in with Swift with GPI. Go ahead, tap in with Visa. You could tap into anything. The overall underlying facts are, it's the fact that like nothing's going to come close to Ripple and XRP. You're talking about 60% savings versus the current system. You would almost have to be brain dead not to tap in with Ripple and XRP. This is why I bring this up, because like this is the truth behind the underlying tech stack. And listen, are we just rolling the dice here saying, hey, if Ripple, grasp 1%, 5%, 10% of these markets, is the value going to be this? Yeah, technically we are, right? We're still speculating. But speculation only goes so far. When you actually look at the facts here, we know that Ripple's already tapped in with FedNow. We already know that Ripple is tapped in with Volante. We already know that Ripple is tapped in with ACI. Like, these are the key players behind this new system. Like, all of them are dominant forces. We already know that Volante is working heavily with the FedNow service. We already know that FedNow is working heavily with the FedNow service. All of these players are already tapped in, like I said. So as we look at Ripple and XRP, people can tell me, hey, there's no mention of Ripple and XRP. Ripple and XRP are not going to be utilized. You're just, spreading hopium. You're doing this. I honestly don't care what anyone is saying. When I look at the information here, when I look at companies like Volante, for an example, spotlighting Ripple as a revolutionary piece behind ISO 20022, and how Ripple is literally the greatest example of this, of bringing together disparate systems, standards, and methods from across the globe and tying them together. That is crucial to mention, because like I've said, Volante is an absolute giant and a dominant force behind traditional finance. The world as we know it is changing. We know that instant payments are becoming the big deal. The problem is when is instant settlement going to be, fully resolved and tapped in? In my opinion, if I were to give you guys my guess on it, well, one, we're seeing the infrastructure being laid. Like I've said, FedNow is crucial infrastructure. Outside of this, we continue to see real-time instant payments launching. These platforms are launching around the world. It's only a matter of time until everything is ready. ISO 20022 is the big thing that really kind of accelerates this. We still need regulations. We've started to see a lot of documents coming out talking about regulations by the end of this year. Don't know how true that is. We know that we've gone over information regarding the end of 2025 with regulations, but it seems as though everything is aligning perfectly here. I would say within the next 2 to 3 years, we will start to see utility being tapped in. And again, things can happen a lot sooner. I know that they say one day, it could happen a lot sooner. So to me personally, I think the next 3 years are going to be very, very exciting. I think that there's going to be a lot of movement happening behind the scenes. Price-wise, hey, anything can happen price-wise. We know that we have seen altcoins and crypto wake up in massive ways out of nowhere. Market makers are market makers. They will create the price movement. But beyond that, I'm very excited for utility around price action with utility, because I think that that's where we will see the true value of a lot of these tokens, including XRP. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know that it was a little bit longer, but there's a lot of information to really kind of go over in this video. But if you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.